What's good, family? It's your boy Old Soul J, and I'm back with another video. Now look, I'm about to break down for y'all the deeper meaning behind Christ consciousness. The word Christ itself. Christ consciousness also goes hand in hand with Krishna consciousness. Now, disclaimer before I get deeper into this, if you are religious, if you are like Christian or Catholic, you may not like some of the things I'm about to say. Now, I respect everyone and their beliefs, but I'm going to tell you my truth. And the ones who know. I mentioned this in the past. I do not debate with people. So if you want to debate, if you disagree, that's fine. This isn't the video for you. This is not the channel for you. Go somewhere else. I do not respond. I've learned my lesson in the past of debates. It's a waste of energy. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help the ones who are already awakened. But let's get into it. Right? So Christ consciousness, in other words, Krishna consciousness, it's basically, in other words, enlightenment. It's a level, it's a vibrational level, it's a consciousness level that everyone has the ability or potential to reach, right? So now a lot of things that are said in religion are stolen from ancient cultures, ancient tablets and all things of that nature, you know, and a lot of these things are spoken in an allegorical way. It's a very intelligent way to keep people controlled when you mix in the truth with agendas. A lot of these truths that you see in religion, yes, like I said, they were taken from somewhere, but they're also explained in an allegorical way, right? When they say that Christ is coming on Judgment Day, Christ will judge them and the ones who are worthy ascend, right? Now, that is an allegorical way to explain the fact that Christ consciousness, which is you getting closer or you reaching your higher self, we're all one. We all come from the divine source. We're all a piece of God. So what does that mean? That means the divine source is a version of us on a higher plane, a higher spectrum, right? So you are Christ. When they say Christ is God in the flesh, you are God in the flesh. We are God in the flesh. I am God in the flesh. We are all God in the flesh. God is everything. This is the flesh. This is the human. We're split up into different humans, different characters, different personalities, different egos, different perspectives to have an experience. But on a higher spectrum, we are the one. So now when they say Judgment Day, your higher self or yourself is really the judgment. Your vibration or your consciousness level is what is being judged, per se. You being worthy to ascend to the higher realms is a vibration. You are only able to be on this dimension, Earth, of this version of Earth, this dimension, because of the vibration you're on. We've come down here, our versions of ourselves that are lower, to be able to connect and raise our vibrations to get closer to that higher self. So for you to get into the higher states, aka heaven, you have to be able to vibrate. You have to have a high enough vibration. Your consciousness, these are all intertwined. Consciousness, vibration, frequency. You have to have a high enough frequency to be able to even exist on those realms or to connect with the version of you that is already there. To merge with the version of you that is already there. So the end times is the death or the end of the old world. Because it also goes hand in hand. You know, there's so many people who talk about, oh, we're in the end times now. Yeah, technically, yes. It goes hand to hand what you hear about with people who are into astrology when they talk about how we are in the new age of astrology and now the truth is coming out. That is the new world. The end times really is the split. Now, it's not all the way over yet. It's not too late for people who are not risen their consciousness and raise their vibration. But the end times is, if your vibration is not low enough, Mother Nature is going to leave you behind. We are entering higher planes of dimensions. So as the vibration on the planet rises, it's going to shed, right? It's going through growing pains right now. This is why the world looks so chaotic right now, because new beginnings happen through chaos. So the split is between the people who vibrate high enough and the people who don't. It's a vibrational split. The dimensions are going to split. And this is why they say also in religion, the kingdom of God is within. They're telling you the truth right in your face, but they're also deceiving you at the same time. The kingdom of God is within you, silly. Now that's the truth. The kingdom of God is within. But what is that telling you? God is within all of us. People will agree with that, and then they'll also still say that another man is God in the flesh, but they're not. That's contradictive. There's so many contradictions in, you know what I'm saying. But they'll say that another man A man is going to decide whether they are deserving, or they, read their heart and see like if they, worship me and then I will let you come to my higher realms. First of all, that's egotistical as hell. What kind of God, like, I have to worship you and ask for forgiveness? But they'll tell you the truth about the kingdom of God is within, but then they'll put it in a way to make you believe that a man is going to come from the sky and come save you and have you ascend, when really you have the power to ascend. And the Matrix is set up in a way to keep you from even finding out about that power, doing the necessary actions to evoke those powers, and then raise your vibration and your consciousness yourself to be able to vibrate on a high enough frequency to be able to ascend to those realms. They don't want you to know that though. They want you to stay down here where they could continue to manipulate you and control you. But most people don't even realize that they're being manipulated and controlled and being kept from their true power. This is why they say knowledge is power. The knowledge I'm speaking right now is the power that's hidden from you. So your power is taken away from you. But you could raise your vibration and be able to ascend, but instead you're waiting for somebody else to save you when time is ticking and you're not doing anything to save yourself. So in other words, what am I saying? When they say Jesus is God in the flesh, I'm not saying he's not real or he wasn't a real man. I'm not saying that. The way they explain it, he was a mystic man who studied the occult knowledge just like what I'm talking about here. He did the work to ascend. You're really supposed to be that person. You're not supposed to wait for him. You're supposed to do what he did. We're supposed to want to be Christ-like. It's a consciousness state. The man that Jesus was based off of, based around, did the work. The work is not to worship. Yes, you can pray and ask for help. The Most High, yes, you could. There's nothing wrong with that. You could request, because what prayer means is to request. You could request help. But doing that alone is not going to have you ascend to the higher realms. Really and truly, what's going to happen if you die with that mindset and that belief, you'll reconnect with your higher self and realize, oh shit, I did everything wrong, or you didn't. Whatever the case is, you're most likely going to get reincarnated until eventually, because everyone's on a spiritual path. That's why my name is Old Soul J here, because I've been here and done this a million times. Even if you become conscious in a certain life, you still might not do everything how you were supposed to, so you still might come back here. Because I already know I've been conscious in past lives as well, so that's not all it takes. That's where the whole concept of reincarnation comes from. Because a lot of times most people die without their vibrational state being high enough, or they didn't fulfill their purpose, one or the other or both, to where they have to come back, or they were too attached to something in the material world that they had to come back, or their soul pulled them back down because they were attached to it, or they did it to themselves, that they didn't really realize how powerful they truly were because they just didn't understand their true power. But it's all part of the game, it's all part of the higher plan. It's all part of God's plan. You've heard that before. The main point I'm trying to get at right now is that to make you realize that you have the power to ascend. And the trick is, in this game called life, one level is for you to even realize or learn that you have the power to ascend, and that this matrix is set up to keep you away from that. And then actually use that power by learning how to and actually ascend. Because if you don't learn how to, you won't. You just won't. So your higher self is the Christ. You have to raise your vibration, and aka Krishna. You have to raise your vibration to be Christ-like, or to reach Christ consciousness. And I'm not saying I'm all the way there yet. I'm definitely on that path though. Not to sound too egotistical, but hey, the human self is egotistical, and this is just the truth of the fact of the matter. I have a higher consciousness than the average person, absolutely. My vibration is already high, but I'm going to continue to grow as I'm still here. Because when it is time for me, it is time for me to go. I won't be coming back here after this lifetime, I'll tell you that much. But this is also part of, they say Messiah seeds, Bodhisattvas, same difference. The Messiah, Buddha, same difference. If you're into this type of content, you're very likely a Messiah seed, aka a Bodhisattva, like myself. And don't get that misconstrued. I did not say I'm the Messiah. I'm not saying that. I am not. At least I don't think I am. But I'm definitely a Messiah seed, right? So part of the ascension process, a lot of times when a person is about to ascend to the higher realms, they help the people develop on their path as well before they go, right? So that's part of why I do this, why my higher self pushes me to do this. Now understand, the whole story of Christ coming There are many versions of this way before the Bible. And there are many different versions of this in different religions as well. But even before religions, you got to understand, if you really study different things, they all regurgitating and stealing information, and then they mix in their own agendas on it. So you got to really pay attention to who created these things and what the agendas are behind them. Now, for this video, that's as deep as we're going to go. We went pretty damn deep today. I've said, if you've watched my prior videos in the past, you may have heard me say that I will be getting a little deeper on here. Now, this is information, this is knowledge that I've known for years, but I don't speak it much. And one thing I always say in these videos, or some videos, I say, speak half of what you know. So as I grow my consciousness and as I learn, or as I also become more knowledgeable, I can share more, because now I have more that I can keep to self. And there's certain things that I will never share, because certain things you need to keep to yourself within. But this right here is something that I've known for years, this video itself. And it's something that you may have heard before. There's other people who are on this level. There's people who are way past my level who speak the same type of information. That's the premise of everything. That's the big secret in this life, this game we call life. This is the type of video that you can't just watch it one time and really take in all the, really take it in. You might have to come back to this one for sure. But that's all I gotta say for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. I got a lot more content on the way. I love y'all.